Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of Beating Covid-19. Today I was hoping for us to do some live chat, live video, but that didn't work out, and instead I have put together an encouraging set of 4 stories. 4 Covid-19 stories to give you hope. Unfortunately, one story is about death. Somebody dies in this story, but the rest of the 3 stories, the people live to tell their story themselves. I will try to keep the people a secret until the very end. It's usually good to just give you some suspense. Well, as you know, the Beating Covid-19 series has been, it's a labor of love. It's not for financial purposes or anything. It was just meant to give people a clear story of what is going on and try to allay fears that and remove the rumors and conspiracies of what COVID-19 is about, and also prepare people to actively fight and win and beat COVID-19, because it's not unbeatable. The tools for your success are within your reach. I don't want to repeat them. I've said them many times, but I will say them at the end of this episode. So let me start with my first story. The first story comes from a gentleman. He was a doctor. He was born in 12th October 1986, and he died on 7th of February 2020. He was an ophthalmologist. At the end of December, he reported strange cases to the hospital where he was, and he shared his findings on chat. He told his story that he found some untreatable cases and for which it was not responding to medication. So he reported to his group of doctor friends. I have the notes here. His group of doctor friends, and those friends in turn told other friends, and the news went round. And then unfortunately, it was at that time not believed, and he got into trouble. He was warned by the police not to talk about it, and after that, soon after that, he resumed his work. He went back to work, and he was warned. He noticed the problem, the disease, on 30th of December. And on 3rd of January, he was warned by the cops or the police or the regional people not to talk about it, not to spread false rumors. On 8th of January, he contracted COVID-19. On 31st of January, he published his story from the beginning of the time when he started finding out what was going on. He published his story online for people to see. And on 7th of February, he died. Without this gentleman, most of us would not know what COVID-19 is until it's too late. It was this gentleman who was the canary in the coal mine, warning people of an impending disaster. The second person I want to talk about he's a very public person. Yeah, a very popular guy, very public person. He's a well-known guy. I'm sure you know him. On 2nd of April, he had a temperature that was not going down. It was thought that because he got the virus along with some of his colleagues were getting well, but he wasn't. So they thought he was going to recover, but he was not so lucky. Things went from bad to worse. He stayed working throughout the time, despite the fact that his condition kept on deteriorating. And this is his timeline. On 3rd of April, he was going down. He was not feeling well, and he was not looking well. On 4th of April, he was still working and pushing on. But on 5th of April, his breathing deteriorated. On 6th of April, things started getting worse, and he was admitted to ICU. There he spent about 7 days in ICU. And at one time, he actually says that he gives thanks to his 2 nurses, who at a time when his condition could have gone either way, they made sure he got adequate oxygen. After the 14th of April, he was discharged, and today he's back at work. He's a famous guy. I will tell you his name after. This is the story of the third person. In March, this gentleman got COVID-19. It was mild, And he was very quiet about it. He did not want to tell people about him getting sick because he did not want to alarm his fans. He's a popular guy as well. So, in his own words, he said, "The pandemic which has shaken the world has also affected, albeit mildly, me and certain members of my family." And he went on to say, "Out of respect for those for whom contracting the virus has had more serious consequences, I decided it best not to share the news." After this, he went on to perform Music for Hope, for which 2.8 million live viewers and 28 million views in 24 hours. I'm a big fan of this guy. He has featured in the song of the day, the hashtag SOTD, for the song Amazing Grace. That was a recent entrant to that. He also donated his blood to help in research in getting a cure for COVID-19. The last person on this storyline is the guy who was the first man in Georgia, USA, to get coronavirus. And at one time he was in hospital and he was told that his lungs were filling up with fluid. And being a Christian and having the faith, he felt the presence of the Lord on his chest, breathing into him and his fluid draining from his lungs. The next day, he was healed from the coronavirus and discharged. All these 4 stories come with lessons. And I'll tell you who the story is, who the name of the person is, and the lesson learned. The first story of the gentleman who passed away, his name is Dr. Wenliang. He is the man who made the world aware that there is a virus and it's spreading and it has no known cure at the moment, and the things they had tried to do did not work. He demonstrates the trait of self-sacrifice, thinking of others before himself. The second person who came back from ICU is none other than the UK's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. And for him, his main lesson is trust. He trusted the system which treated him. He was a patient of the NHS. And the nursing care that he received, he credits that with his success in living, in able to continue on. That is a lesson in trust. You have to trust the systems you're using. The third fellow, that gentleman, is a real nice guy. His name is Andrea Bocelli. For those of you who knows Time to Say Goodbye, Amazing Grace, all the songs he has done. And one of the songs for the Music for Hope, which is Amazing Grace, as I said, had featured in my song of the day. And Andrea Bocelli demonstrates humility because he knew he could take the shine out of the crisis in Italy. He felt the need not to talk about it, so that for others who have suffered worse consequences, they may also find comfort in their grief. And the last person, Mr. Clay Bentley. The lesson is about faith. Having a faith in a God who can help you. Now, these are 4 stories that are meant to encourage. They are meant to show that COVID can be beaten. In the case of Dr. Wenliang, in his death, he overcame COVID-19 because he exposed it for what it was. And through his death, we are saved. Just many of us would have unknown consequences. I don't know what would have happened had he not brought the matter to light. So tonight, as we close for the day, it's a short session. I pray that you guys will have encouragement during these days of beating COVID-19 and that you will stand firm. Follow the 4 C's of cleaning your hands, covering your face, chilling at home, clearing your distance, so that you may be personally responsible for your well-being. I want to thank you guys for supporting this job and this work that I do. I know that without you, it would be very difficult to just tell stories day after day. I urge you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ripple to Wave on YouTube, and also you can see the same videos that you see on Facebook on YouTube, and they are archived there. I want to thank you all for your encouragement, the encouragement speech, the people who talk to me, the people who share that these things have helped in some way. I pray that you continue to keep safe and also beat COVID-19. God bless and see you in the next one.